Okay, so I think the recording started. Okay, so why do you have a scale?
Because the study that I read on the science of Injera said that the most ideal method of making it was to use double the weight of water to flour ratio.
I see.
Obviously, if I use 2 cups of flour, it doesn't weigh the same as water, so I'm going to weigh my water instead. So I'll use 2 cups of flour, weigh that, and then double the weight of water.
The water. Well, I'm curious how many cups of water that will be. So we should take a measurement, just for my curiosity, right? Because remember, because I'm using 2 cups of water and 3.5 cup of 2 cups of teff and 3.5 cup of water. I'm just curious how many cup of water you end up using the weight method.
Well, we can find it.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Shall we?
Yes. Yeah, your lighting is like really white over there. It's completely washed.
The sun's just came out. It's really annoying. 2 seconds.
See, you're like 5 hours ahead of me, and we are like really dark over here because of the rainstorm.
Yeah, it does. The weather just doesn't know what it wants to do here.
Right?
Scotland.
For me. Okay, let me grab this. So I'm not doing the weight thing. I'm just doing 2 cups of teff.
Yeah.
Is that 1 cup?
Yeah, this is 1 cup. That's 320 grams from 2 cups of teff. So we need 640 grams of water.
340 grams?
Yeah. 320, sorry.
Sorry?
320 grams.
320 grams. So you're using 640 grams of water?
That's right? Very good maths, but yeah.
That's very easy math. That's 1 cup for me. By the way, can you see me cooking? Like the camera's so small, I can't really tell.
I can see the top of the packet.
The top half, but not really what I'm making.
That was about 2.5 cups of water.
So you measured it?
Yeah.
Did you say 2.5 cup of water?
Yeah, it looked like Yeah, 2.5 cups of water.
Okay, so 2.5 cup of water is basically the amount of water you need for your final product.
According to what I've read, yes.
Like you don't actually have any extra water to waste or to pour off.
No.
If you pour anything away, you have to add the same amount of water back, basically.
Well, not according to what I've read. I think the layer of water on top obviously has a purpose. It's maybe to create more surface area for the yeast to grow, is what I'm guessing. So the next thing that I need to do now is I need to knead this for 3 minutes at a moderate speed.
Really? Like
that's what the study said made the best results. Apparently the length of time and the speed that you need it has very, very dramatic effects on the finished
how
product.
do you knead this? This is like basically a batter, like a pot of stew.
You just stir it.
Stir. Okay. See, this is what I said last time, right? I said, why don't we just add the right amount of water, which is like 2.5 cup will be around, the amount that you need to make the final product.
Because you have to adjust it later on when you do the secondary fermentation.
It doesn't make total sense to me. So like second fermentation, you're gonna pour out some water and then you're gonna add the same amount back, right? Basically.
Not the same amount, no. You add more back.
More back.
You end up adding more back because the when you cook the batter that you remove,
Okay.
it will thicken it up. It will thicken your batter up slightly, and then you just adjust the water.
So some water will evaporate. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
So just did 3.5 cup of water in mine. This time to cook, I never have enough. I never have the right utensils and tools here. What is a black thing? Is it your microphone?
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow I remember your microphone being bigger. No?
I'm sorry?
I remember your microphone being bigger, or was it just shown bigger on the camera last time? So it's the same.
Maybe it just looks bigger.
Bigger, yeah. Yes.
So it was a little bit too technical and scientific for me, but the study that I read did explain how beating the batter changed the properties of it.
What's the science behind?
It's too heavy and complicated for me to try and explain to you. It's all about lipids and flavonoids and things like that.
Okay, let's read the study. Which university did it?
I can't remember the name of it now. It was some university in Addis Ababa, but the official Board of Health or whatever it's called was involved as well. Well, that's 3 minutes at a moderate speed, and I have a very, very watery batter, but all the solids should sink to the bottom like the last time.
Yeah, mine's all mixed too.
I'm going to just cover it up and let nature do its thing.
Mm-hmm. Looks good. I think mine still has a little bit of lumps inside. I'm just trying to break it up.
Are you using a spoon or a whisk?
What?
Are you using a spoon or a whisk?
Like a little, like a spatula thing?
I started off using a spoon and then used a whisk.
Well, I was looking for a spoon. I couldn't find it. Okay, I think this is good enough. I'm going to find a cover. Hey. Ah! I just splashed it. Oh,
Nightmare.
too bad. Oh, well. I'll clean it up later.
See, the sun's moved to the other side of the house now. Look what's happened.
What did you say?
Saying the sun's moved to the other side of the house now. Look what's happened.
All right. I'm surprised you still have sunlight this time of the day.
It's at this time of year. It's sunny up until maybe 10 o'clock.
Oh, nice. What time does sunrise?
Good question. It's very early. It's like 4 o'clock or something.
Really?
Maybe half past 4. I'll tell you.
Suits your schedule.
Aye, exactly.
Considering you don't really sleep.
Yep.
Okay, I got my covered as well. Just tilt the camera a little bit. And I put an elastic band around the cloth. I know you don't do that. There's no big difference.
I don't expect so.
But I kind of like tie it with an elastic band so that it doesn't fall into the bowl.
Sunrise is at 4:42 and sunset is 9:45.
Okay, so I think that's it. Like we're done today, and then tomorrow we should look at the progress, and then yours we're gonna do the boiling thing, but I'm not gonna touch mine. I want to.
So we'll see if it's bubbling away nicely tomorrow. Then it means it's ready for the next step. If it's not, then we'll wait another day.
Yeah, but I think tomorrow should be fine, and I think the day after tomorrow we can cook it. Like I think like 2 days should be.
I think so. That worked the last time, so I don't
last time we let it ferment how many days? 3 days?
Yeah.
I don't think the last day did anything to mine, honestly.
Remember, we both noticed that towards the end that it stopped bubbling, and you were a wee bit concerned that maybe it died or something.
But mine has stopped bubbling at the end. Did yours?
It did. It bubbled for longer than yours did, but then it stopped. But apparently, according to what I've read in these studies, that is once the fermentation has arrested, that's a sign that it's ready to cook. So it's actually supposed to happen. It is a part of the process.
Okay. So maybe 2 days will be enough, I think.
Yeah.
I guess. All right. I'm gonna stop it. Okay. All right. Where is your batter then? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay.
Sorry, this microphone's cancels the background noise. It was turned the wrong way. Anyway, my batter's in the jug.
Okay. Like what did you do? Like you made a.
Yeah. So I made what's called an abset. So you take a portion of the batter, and you mix it with some water in a pan, and you cook it until it becomes really thick and gelatinous. Then you let it cool down, not completely cool down. You cool it down till it's tepid, and then you add it back to your injera batter.
So
Mix it through.
how much of the batter did you take out and cook?
I took out 1 cup. I took out 1 cup of batter. Sorry, half a cup of batter, and mix it with 1 cup of water,
Okay.
and then keep whisking it as it's heating up. Otherwise, it will go lumpy, and eventually it becomes like a thick paste.
Sure.
Then you let that cool down until it's tepid, and then you add it back to the injera mixture. And because it's still,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say because it's still warm, it increases the activity of the yeast much quicker.
Okay, I see. So, like, did your ferment turn out like this?
Yes, it did.
You already dealt with it, right? So you already.
Yeah.
Did you
Well,
get?
I poured the water off the top until it got down to the flour level. Yeah.
Okay, so you did pour water off. Yeah. Okay.
Because as well as not just the studies that I read, but also pretty much every single recipe that I found tells you to pour that water off.
But you have 2.5 cups of water, so pouring water off, it left you with like nearly nothing. But then I guess because you add another cup of water
because you add later if you need to. If there's too much water, then you're never going to be able to make a successful injera. So it's better to be too thick than too thin.
Yeah, okay, well, it was a little too thick last time, I think it was. Okay, I'm gonna just I think I'm just gonna get the foam out first, and then, let's see. I don't assume the foam's good, right? Like, or does it really?
I don't believe it would do any harm, but the fact that every single recipe tells you to discard that foam and water, there must be a reason for it. Although you can keep aside a portion of that water, and you can use that as a starter for the next batch of injera that you make.
Okay, well that makes sense because it's already got the yeast in there, right? If you use this water, I assume the next batch will be a little faster.
I reckon so.
Maybe like if you want to do like a quick ferment for like 1 day instead of 2 days.
Yeah.
Because speed things up a bit. Okay. Okay, I don't want to stir this too much. Then.
See, I was able to just pour the water out of the bowl, and all the flour stayed underneath.
Right. Oh, you know what? Like, since I already have a spoon, I'm just gonna use a spoon. Either way, it's the same.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, if you want to make life difficult for yourself, no problem.
The last time I just poured it. Last time I didn't even know how much I poured. Like I just kind of like eyeballed it and then I had no idea. So today I'm kind of taking a little bit of a measurement, just so that I have an idea of how much water I'm getting rid of. I'm removing 1 cup of water. Do you think that's about right?
Well, once you stir it through, you'll know yourself if the consistency's right.
Like if I didn't pour enough, if I pour too much, it's fine. Like I can always add the water back. If I pour,
if I were you, I would do what pretty much all the recipe says and just pour off all that water. Pour off that water into a bowl and use it for the next batch of injera.
I see. No, I think I'm fine. Like I think you're supposed to pour just some and then leave the rest like enough to make a batter, like enough to make the actual batter, right? Like that's fine. No, I'm not doing it right.
I'm just saying that the recipes that I've read, every single one says to pour all the water off.
Oh, really?
Every single one.
Okay.
You know, if you want to be a renegade, that's okay too.
Well, I'm just curious, how much water is all the water?
all the water off the surface. Once you see the flour start to come out the bowl as well, then you stop. So I can see now. So stop. Perfect.
Okay, so this is actually, I poured about 1 3/4 cups.
So if you need, if your batter is too thick, then you can just pour some of that water back in.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just taking notes a little bit. All right. Well, then I absolutely need to add water back. I absolutely need to add some back now. Let's nice. It's very
Should be somewhere between crepe batter and pancake batter.
Yeah.
Consistency.
This is thick. I'm gonna add some water. Let me see. Maybe. Okay. I added like 1/2 cup of water. Is that too much?
Well, you tell me. You can see the consistency.
I tell you. Yeah, I added 1/2 cup of water back.
How does your batter smell? Mine smells kind of biscuity.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and baking soda. Did you?
I'll probably add a wee bit of salt, but not baking soda. I'll see how it turns out first. I'm kind of hoping that mine should bubble nicely because of the absinthe.
Okay. It's not for bubbling. I just I didn't like how acidic it turned out.
Yeah, I mean that's just to do with how many days we left it fermenting. Apparently, some people leave it for four or 5 days, because some people really enjoy the sour flavour.
Sure. But even 2 days, in my experience, it would be like pretty sour already. I think.
I was also reading. Apparently, it's quite common to put fenugreek powder in there as well.
What did you say?
Apparently, it's quite common to put fenugreek powder in the injera batter as well.
Okay. That's nice. I don't have any right now. Okay, let's try this. I added about 1/2 teaspoons of salt and 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda.
You're cheating.
What do you mean I'm cheating?
Baking soda, come on.
Not cheating. No, it's not for bubbling. Like I really did not like how acidic it was last time. Honestly.
You did say that.
Like I made 1/2 and 1/2, right? Like the first half with the batter, it just turned out like really acidic. I did not like the taste.
I know, I remember you saying that. I'm only joking.
Okay, I don't know if I added too much baking soda, but whatever. Like I'll try this, and if it's too much, then next time we can try a little less. Okay, well, and the moment of truth. Okay, I'm moving the camera over to the stove.
Right, I'm going to pour it and let's see what happens.
ghee from last time? What are you frying like with? Like what oil, fat? Are you using the butter or the ghee?
It's rapeseed oil.
No.
Rapeseed oil.
Oh, okay.
Now remember, I had much better results last time when I covered the pan.
Yep.
Top didn't dry out quite so much.
Definitely need a lid. No, is this lid? Oh, sure. That'll work. Perfect. How much salt did you add in your batch?
About half a teaspoon.
Is this breaking? Is yours breaking? What happened?
Yeah, I think maybe my batter's a little bit dry, so I'm going to add some water to it. That was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, last yours breaking up too. Was it a lid problem or like just not using the lid? Or
I think maybe my batter needs to have some more water, and possibly the pan was a little bit too hot as well.
my heat is not very high. I use like a medium heat.
Yeah. You seem to be having a bit more success than I am.
Mine was very successful last time.
Yeah, I remember.
I hope it turned out just as good this time. Let's see. Oh no,
My
no.
problem is I'm not getting any bubbles in mine.
Really? Mine get plenty of bubbles. Can you see? Can you see the bubbles?
I can see the bubbles, yeah.
Yeah, and I think my Injera is darker than yours. Is it just the lighting? Are you using? Are you? Oh man, are you using the same Teff or did you use the second batch you bought? Because you said you got a batch that's darker.
Yeah, this is the darker stuff. Hang on. Here's a bit.
Really light.
Yeah, it's a bit lighter than yours, huh?
Yeah, much lighter. You cook it until the top is dry. So I think I need to wait a little longer. I don't think mine turned out as well as last time, honestly.
So I think even last time I think yours looked better.
Yeah, last time mine was like perfect, like better than this batch. I don't know what I did differently though. You see, mine's falling apart. A little. Oh, it's mostly fine. Mostly fine. Okay, this is like because it's stuck on the pen. Okay, let me make one more and see how it goes.
You're using butter, yeah?
No, I'm not using butter. I'm using the ghee.
You're using what? Sorry, beef.
I'm using ghee.
This one looks a wee bit better.
Hmm?
This one I'm cooking just now looks a wee bit better.
I'm gonna taste test the first one. It's sort of okay. It turned out like round.
Yeah.
But I think I added a little too much water.
Yeah, mine are kind of, well, crap.
Also too much water. Maybe I turn the heat up a little bit. And too much baking soda. I think I can use a little less baking soda next time.
Yeah.
Delicious though. It tastes really good.
It does. Even my crap scraps that I've managed to salvage taste quite nice.
Did you say yours tastes pretty good? Quite nice?
Yeah, the bits that I can salvage, most of mine end up just going in the bin. They're just not turning out at all. nightmare.
No, breaking again. It's tricky. Last time, I don't know how it just turned out so perfect.
Yeah, I definitely had more success last time.
Oh no!
I managed to make one successful injera so far.
One.
Only one.
What's your definition for success? Not falling apart?
Exactly. Hang on a second. Yep. I think the mistake that I'm making is I'm not putting enough batter in the pan, so they end up being too thin and they dry out too quickly. So I'm trying to put a wee bit more in next time.
Oh, so you think a little thicker will solve the problem?
Well, I'm gonna hope so. Let's see how this one turns out.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm making mine a little thicker this time too.
Yeah, this is looking much better actually. It's nice and fully.
I also don't know if the lid makes any difference at all.
It definitely does for me.
Does for you?
Yeah, definitely. If I don't put the lid on, the top dries out too much and the whole thing just breaks up.
I'm gonna cook this one with the lid off. You can see the bubbles, right?
Yep. But if you notice, I've changed the pan that I use and it's got a clear lid, so I can see the bubbles anyway. Yes, that turned out absolutely perfect.
Perfect?
Oh yeah, perfect.
Love hearing that.
And in fact, the study that I read said that the ideal thickness of the injera should be approximately 6 millimeters.
6 millimeter. 6 millimeters?
Yeah, and that's 6 millimeters. If you look at my camera just now, that one turned out absolutely perfectly.
Ah, nice. Okay, I think I'm getting it better because this one is definitely thicker than the previous.
Yeah.
Like the previous one I made is more like 4 millimeter or 3.
Yeah.
I think the new one I'm making, this is about 6 to 8, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it cooks like 4 to 5 minutes. I don't know how long this takes for you.
About the same.
I think it's
That one looks good.
Yay.
Well done.
Yeah, I think it's good. A little longer.
Hello.
I'm just eating the ones I made already. It's good, really good.
Yeah.
I absolutely think baking soda is key. I know you disagree with me.
No, I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I just
You just appreciate the tangy taste, right?
yeah, just I like the tanginess, but also I want to be able to do it the way it's supposed to be done. You know, they tend not to use baking soda in traditionally.
Well, like baking soda is not for bubbles or anything. It's really just for the taste. For me. Okay, this one's beautiful.
Yeah, you're right. I think I've figured out the key is not to make them too thin. They're supposed to be quite thick and spongy, and I'm definitely having better results with those ones.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they do turn out like thick and spongy now.
Oh, perfect.
the fermented stuff really is better for my digestive system.
Mhm.
If you don't have any issues, you may not be able to tell. Like, do you eat wheat or do you eat like the non-fermented, like more conventional stuff like bread and things?
I eat absolutely everything, a mixture of everything.
Right?
I do like fermented foods. I eat quite a lot of the fermented Chinese pickles
Thank you.
and lots of sauerkraut. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like bread. I'm talking about grains.
Oh, like sourdough and stuff.
Yeah, sourdough stuff.
Yeah, I eat a lot of sourdough. I don't make very much, but I eat it a lot. Yeah.
But like conventionally made, like bread and pasta, like I used to be able to eat them. Now, like even organic pasta, I don't know. Like I don't know, is this pasta or something? Um, just doesn't agree with me.
See, I know a lot of people that there's a lot of things that they have to cut out or cut down on their diets because of various reasons. I think I'm kind of lucky that I don't really have anything like that. I seem to be able to eat anything without consequence.
Right. This one I cooked with lid on.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if it makes a difference. So, I think this one turned out perfect.
Like it.
It takes about like three and a half minutes. And I cook it on like just in high heat. I turn the heat up.
Yeah.
Notch. Oh, beautiful.
Look at that.
Perfect. And the thickness is perfect.
Yep, absolutely.
Take the ruler, 3 millimeter.
Yeah, I'm definitely sure where I was going wrong was I was making them far too thin.
Yeah. It really sounds like a very simple recipe, but it takes time to get a hang of it, right?
Yeah, it's the kind of thing. It probably is simple if you've been doing it your entire life, but if you're doing it like for the first or second time, then there is a technique to it.
And especially us, like neither of us has the the cultural background to make such thing. We're just experimenting away and trying to
Exactly.
make it work.
But that's the fun of it.
Well, if it tastes good and looks like the pictures,
It means when you make a successful one, it's even more satisfying.
There's like tiny little left, but I don't want to make my Injera too thick. So.
Yeah, I've got my last one in the pan now.
I just have like tiny little bit of batter. Okay, oh well. I'm just gonna pour on top. Whatever.
Why not?
No, this is 7 millimeter. I don't think it matters. Doesn't look great.
I do it well.
Now I'm gonna mess up anymore. So done.
So are you going to be eating all this injera by yourself?
Yes, that's the plan. I'm already eating it as I'm cooking. Like I ate maybe like half of them already.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else ate.
Yeah. So apparently, if you cover them up, they should be good for about 3 days, but you can also freeze them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Apparently, if you roll them up in like baking parchment and then put them in a freezer bag, they're fine to freeze and they defrost well.
I'm not surprised. Like most bread can be frozen.
Okay, I am done.
I'm not. Almost. Hey, I'm done too. Hey, how many perfect ones you got? I have one.
5.
Hey, perfect. Like this one. Oh, maybe you're smaller. How can you have so many?
I used a smaller pan.
I use a big pan. Maybe bigger than yours, so I don't have.
It's because the electric hobs that I have are much smaller. The gas hobs heat a pan much more evenly, so I have to use a smaller pan with the electric hobs.
Okay.
Would you like to see them?
Yeah, I do.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Sure. I thought you were gonna snap your finger. Nice. Oh, beautiful.
This is my favorite. Nice and spongy.
This is nice. Really beautiful. So perfect. Yeah, the thicker one really turned out like I don't know, like how can you cook them so fast?
Well, I think having the lid on helps. I mean, they say nice. They say that once the top is not wet anymore, once it's completely changed colour, then it's cooked.
Yep.
So putting the lid on, then of course you get the help from the steam.
Yep. Absolutely.
I'm happy with these.
So
Holes in that.
Yeah. Did you use a lid for every single one?
Yes.
Good. Oh, so spongy. Like it's not big anymore when you just add that
Shall
little.
we break? Shall we break one open to see the cross section?
Oh, I can flip mine too in my head. It is spongy. Nice.
There we go. That's the cross section.
Mm-hmm. Good. Take a bite. Okay. You see the difference? You use a lid, right? You see the difference? Yeah. This one I didn't use a lid, so the top is like kind of like whitish. And then this one I did use a lid. It's like consistently brown.
Yeah, you really.
It turned white because actually it's more dry. Like this is more like crusty dry, right? And when you have the lid on, it steams the whole thing.
Yeah, I remember the first batch that we made, that was the main issue that I had, was when I wasn't using the lid, they were just far too dry and they just broke up trying to take them out of the pan.
Right, it would be like that.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, like that. But then the reason it broke is, I think, is because you make it too thin.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so good. What do you reckon, Olaf?
Is Olaf getting any?
Olaf doesn't get human food.
So sad.
You know, when I eat my dinner, okay, I sit at the table, I eat my dinner, and he just does his own thing. He doesn't care that I'm eating my dinner. But if I start giving him human food, then he's going to start begging at the table, and I don't want that to happen.
And this is going to be like every day. Once you start, right?
Exactly. You only need to do it once.
Mm-hmm. So what are you serving your Injera with today? No, well, you already had, but next time.
Well, I already ate my dinner because somebody was a little bit late coming online, so.
You also took a nap. So late.
A nap on the butcher block. No, I'll make some Ethiopian stew tomorrow. I've got stuff for it. Yeah. So tasty.
Good. Really good.
And I think because we didn't wait 3 days, it's even without baking soda, I think it's just a nice tanginess. It's not as overpowering as it was last time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really happy with this. That's quite addictive.
Delicious. Really good. Perfect. Yeah, I'm happy. Both of us turned out really well this time.
Yeah. So I think whichever technique that we use, whether we use my absit or the more basic technique that you used, to be honest, I think the key is to just not make them too thin, and possibly to use a lid as well. And that's how I found I got the best results.
Oh, absolutely, the lid. I think with the lid, you steam the whole Injera, the color is going to be better, like consistently brown, right? Without like a crusty top. And what else? Like absolutely add salt. I highly, support adding baking soda. But again, I think 3 days it will be too tangy. 2 days maybe okay, right? Like 1 or 2 days maybe okay.
I know some people who use the absit method, they once they add the absit to the Injera batter, then they leave it another 24 hours, whereas I left mine 3 hours. So maybe it'll be interesting to see what happens if you actually leave it for the full 24 hours. Although the idea of doing that is to get more holes in the batter, but to be honest, I'm quite happy with that. There's quite a lot of holes in there anyway, if you can see it.
Yeah. Like mine, plenty of holes too. I don't know, can you see?
Yeah.
Maybe the lighting's not great. but there's plenty of holes.
But actually, when I think, because the light here is quite crap just now because there's no natural light here, but I think my injera is actually as dark as yours is.
I don't think so.
I think it's difficult to tell because the lighting here is crap. So you've got quite nice lighting in your kitchen, so I can see quite accurately how dark your injera is.
Like,
Mine looks darker.
I'm wearing a black shirt, right? And look at that color. It's like it's like brown. It's like a chocolate cake. Yours is not.
So,
yours look more like a cutting board.
There is, yeah, but again, when I'm here in my kitchen looking at this, not on a camera, and it actually looks much darker than it does on the camera picture.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
But apparently there is a lot of different varieties of teff. I don't just mean like more finely milled stuff and wholemeal stuff, but apparently there's different varieties. So right. some of them are naturally lighter, some of them are naturally darker. So
yeah, absolutely.
But no, I'm definitely much more happy with this batch than I was from the last batch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now I think we perfected it.
I can't stop touching it. I wouldn't say perfected it, but I would say that we can both make injera.
Okay.
Confidently.
Yeah. Very spongy. It's nice. Okay, so shall we stop the video? Because before
definitely.
Something even worse. All right. How can we do this?
Quickly.
Okay, until next time.